Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is kind of more of a vlog kind of style. It's just, well, not really a vlog, it's just more like a diary-ish, sorta. I don't know. Anyways, my hair looks like, ugh, today. As always, I guess, or here lately, it's been, I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about how, I have been dealing with anxiety and panic attacks for the last couple of years now, and so yesterday I had a doctor's appointment. It was an eye doctor appointment, and I I did something. I was like, well, okay, so my eye appointment, it was like a follow-up appointment. I have chronic dry eyes. It could be probably because my medicines that I do take could cause it a little bit. I don't know what's causing it, but apparently I got a lot of dry eye issues. So I ended up taking, I did over-the-counter medicines. They don't help. I've done, what do you call it? My cat is sitting there hollering. Just got the zoomies. One around hollering. I don't know why. So dumb. Anyways, so I ended up, after using the over-the-counter ones, I went to the eye doctor, got my eye examined, and everything looked okay. I mean, because I do have to deal with migraines and stuff, we wanted to make sure that was kind of getting worked out as well, at the same time as me getting my eyes checked and all that stuff. But so so my eye doctor is well aware of my migraines and stuff. So, but we found out that after looking at everything in my eyes or whatever it is, we found out, I'm doing a bunch of tests, that I do have a lot of, like, I have some thinning happening, and, which I don't know exactly what all that means, but she's like, we're just going to watch it. Okay. But I ended up, she told me that go ahead and start taking some of these drops that they recommended, which you can get like on Amazon and stuff. They're probably a lot cheaper than they sell at the eye doctors. But so I tried these other ones, and they worked. It was a hit and miss with them. It was like I did it 2 or 3 times a day. It was like, and they were just these little vials, and the vials are only good for like maybe good 24 hours or so. So I had a bunch of these like empty vials everywhere around the house because I would take them with me, and I would pop them, drops in my eyes every time I turn around. Well, I even tried limiting my screen usage. I limited caffeine. I've done everything I can, and it was still not working. I was drinking more water to help the, tear reduction, or not reduction, but production. I tried everything I can. Well, it still wasn't really getting totally better. I mean, it was getting better, but it wasn't quite fixing the situation. So she prescribed me some eye drops, and these eye drops, a percentage of the eye drops were covered by my insurance, but then I still had to pay like another like copay or something with it. But it's well worth it because these eye drops are amazing. The only side effect with these eye drops are they kind of get like a stinging sensation when you do them, but you kind of get used to that stinging sensation. It's almost like someone just did a quick like little like poke or something like that. If you ever had check your blood sugar levels, that little initial like where the needle just kind of stabs your finger or something. Well, it's kind of like that. It's like it hurts for a split second, and then it's over. So that's the same thing with these eye drops, except it's like a sting. It goes in, and then after a few minutes, you kind of forget that you have any stinging. The only bad side effect is that your eyes sometimes start feeling very sensitive to wind and air being blown. Like right now, I have a ceiling fan going on, and I'm having to force myself to blink a lot because my eyes wanting to like squint a little bit because they're very sensitive to that, the air flowing through. But that's a side effect of the medicine. Will I get better? Maybe, because I'm only in like a month 2 out of it. But we'll see. But I would take this over what I had before. Before, it was so bad. I was so gritty. It was always, I was constantly rubbing my eyeballs. I was constantly, and it was leading to me have tension headaches. I was having eye pain. Like, literally, I felt like I was pain behind my eyeballs and actually in my eyeball. It was so sensitive to touch around my eyeballs. It was crazy. So, yeah. But so this, I will welcome this side effect over that. And then my migraine stuff is getting worked out through my neurologist, which is a whole different video. But yeah, so I have anxiety, okay? So typically before I go to doctor's appointments, I always end up popping like a diazepam or something. And it most of the time kind of helps. It also helps if I'm not rushed. It also helps if if I'm not hot or too cold. If I have someone there to kind of talk with a little bit. If I have eaten already, or always have make sure I have a drink with me, preferably something cold. All these things. Now tell me why on this day I decided to not do any of those things. I don't know. I got up that morning, got up on time. I got up a fabulous time, got dressed, everything, and I thought, I'm going to order me, I Ubered some Starbucks, I thought, well, I'll just take it to go with me. So I ordered it, so make sure it'd be here right before I leave, and it arrived, perfect timing, gave her an extra tip because she was great at delivering on time and didn't spill it. So I ordered me a pumpkin spice latte, which I always order a venti apparently in the mornings, but I know I try to not have any caffeine or anything really high dose caffeine first thing in the morning, especially before an appointment when I'm already going to be anxious. I already know it. But with the pumpkin spice latte, it's got to have some type of caffeine in it. So instead of 2 espressos that naturally come with it, I usually ask for 1. And typically your espressos are on the bottom of the drink and not really mixed up at the top. I mean, yes, they stir it, but most of the time it settles down to the bottom because espresso's heavy. So it's a heavier liquid compared to milk or anything like that. Speaking of milk, I can't, I don't know if I can handle too much milk in the mornings. I try and it just don't settle with me. I naturally already have to have lactose free. I just naturally have to have that. But I can't handle oat milk very well either, not in high quantity like that. But I can have it, but I choose not to have it on an empty stomach. Mind you, I had an empty stomach. So I just decided to go ahead and have either soy or Brie. I can handle half and half, which is crazy because half and half is basically cream and milk. But I can't, for some reason, I just can't handle just regular milk, which is weird. But anyway, so like I just got a Brie style, which is literally half and half. Because I wanted something a little bit thicker because I knew I was going to, just mainly drink this right now. So I wanted something to kind of hold me a little bit. Because I thought this appointment, because I've had a follow-up appointment like this before with them just a few months prior. And to see, over the same situation before I got the prescription for this to see how I was doing. Well, in that appointment, the appointment went within 20 minutes. I was in and out the door. It was pretty quick. So I thought, same scenario. I'm just going to go in there, just basically tell her, she's going to check my eyeballs. I'm going to tell her I'm doing okay. I'm doing good on it. She may see if she needs to give me more refills, whatever. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm out the door, right? No. So we got there. My husband decided he had to go do something. I got there and I said, just drop me off. Go do what you got to do. And hopefully I'll be done by the time you're done doing whatever you want to do. And because he was just going to go right down the street. So, I'm a big girl. I can handle myself. So I did order also a an apple croissant. And I thought, that's no big deal, right? So I thought, well, I'd bring it with me in case I do get kind of hungry, maybe like afterwards, and I can't really make it home, or in case we decide to go do something else afterwards, I can at least eat something, And thought nothing of it. Left it in the car. He took it with him, and I was in there. This place is normally warm, but I thought last time I was just warm because the time of year. Because you got to think about it, it was in summer, so I thought maybe it's just me. Well, no, it's still kind of warm in there, but apparently nobody else was acting like it was warm. But I don't know. So I thought, okay, I'll just slow down on the sipping of my coffee because it's hot. So I just thought I'll just kind of sip it every now and then. And I will just kind of watch this, Master Chef kid version, Gordon Ramsay on the TV, and wait for my name to be called. Mind you, I got there 20 minutes early before my appointment time, which is not like me, but I did anyways. And we ended up, well, not we, but me. I was just sitting there waiting. They finally called me back. Finally. At this point, I was kind of starting to feel, I think the anxiety was starting to rise. But I also didn't help because I didn't have anything really, I hasn't eaten either. So it was hard to determine whether it was blood sugar, POTS, or anxiety because they all mask each other at the beginning. So I'm trying to kind of distract myself in case it is an anxiety thing. So, and at the pot situation, I thought, okay, I'm going to walk for a minute, but I'm sitting, pumping my legs because my dumb butt didn't decide to wear my compression socks today. So I thought I'd be okay because it's the first thing I did this morning. So I should be fine as far as that part goes. And I was drinking something, which is caffeine usually helps if you have POTS sometimes because it helps open up and dilate the blood vessels. So I'm thinking I'll be okay. And then I thought, well, maybe I'm just kind of hungry. Maybe it's blood sugar. But then again, I'm drinking this drink, which I think has got sugar in it, because it's a latte. Most lattes are sweet, so I'm thinking it can't be that bad. So they call me back. Okay, go straight to the room. And I notice as closer I get to this room, it's getting warmer and warmer. Get into this room, and only you find out that this lady had a portable heater in this room. It was on. I am like burning up. I'm like, how is she not burning up? And she closes the door. And this room is really tiny. I mean, it's barely enough to have a chair, another offset chair, and this little stool computer section. That's it. And that's all. So I'm sitting in this chair, and I set my stuff off the side in this other little chair, and nurse or MA or whatever was sitting on the other side at the computer, and I was trying to explain to her. I said I kept doing this, kind of giving her hints, hey, because I'm not one to make a big deal about things, but I was getting to a point where I'm gonna have to say something because, yeah, I was sitting there doing this, like. I'm kind of warm. And I asked her, I said, hey, can we turn that heater off? Because it's warm. She goes, oh, yeah, that's fine. All right, you're warm. Yeah, fine. I'll turn it off. She turns it off, but then it's already kind of too late because the air has already been trapped up in that room. There's no really, airflow coming back and forth. So, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just grinning and bearing it. She's like, okay, well, we're going to check your vision. Is those prescriptions, your glasses you have on now, are those the ones that we got you and stuff? I said, yeah, these are still new. These are just not even 6 months old. So, and she's like, okay, cool. And we'll just go and do it. 2020, both vision. That was good. I did that. I'm breathing through the whole process. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, is it anxiety? Is it anxiety is being induced because I'm warm? And I'm warm, and I'm starting to get hungry because my sugar is being depleted because I'm sweating, and I'm sweating because I have anxiety because I'm warm. And it's just like, it is one thing after the other. And I'm just trying to say, just keep yourself together, keep it together. You'll be fine. Everything will be okay. So we get finished. I'm thinking, okay, finally, doctor's going to come in. She said, oh, no, you need, come follow me. And I'm like, can I leave my stuff here or do I need to bring it with me? She says, oh, no, bring it with me. You're going to go to another room. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll go. I said, and then I made a comment how I said, maybe it'll be a lot cooler in another room. Of course, I don't think she heard me. And it was another room. It was a second waiting area where there was 2 or 3 other people in a smaller area on top of it. Now, mind you, I'm a little claustrophobic here. So on top of the anxiety, and I'm already kind of trying to breathe, and you put me in a smaller area with 2 or 3 other people, and we're within like 4 to 5 feet from each other, sitting in tiny chairs, by the way. And I'm a big girl, but sitting in tiny chairs. I mean, it's crazy. And they had Jeopardy on TV, on this TV. And I decided I'm going to text my husband and I'm going to say, hey, I think I'm halfway done my appointment. I'm just waiting in another room. And he was like, well, I'm already back, and he's like, I'm here. So, and I was like, okay. And then I was thinking, I sat there and waited. 10 minutes goes by, which doesn't seem like a long time, but I was like, it seems like a long time in the way I was feeling. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell them everything's good. My prescription's good. Do I really need to see the doctor? Or if I do, can I just go sit in my car or at least get an AC and maybe I could eat a little bit because I didn't want to bring food in there and at the same time it would all be cooler sitting in the car now that my husband's back. And I thought, I'm just going to ask them, can I just do that? And then when it's my turn, either somebody can come out and get me or they can just call me or text me. I'll be right here. Or just motion. I'll watch the door. You can motion, hey, come on in. But it's just the way I felt. So I get up, I walk way back in, and as soon as I get to go to the checkout area to let them know, hey, this is my situation. I wasn't feeling well. I can tell my hands were starting to be shaky a little bit, and I was kind of like leaning. At this point, I looked at the corner of my eye. My husband is inside the waiting area, over on the side, and he's like looking at me. He can tell something's not right. Something's wrong because you can tell by the way I was looking, how I was kind of bending over and how I was kind of like, and I look around like, and I tell him I'm shaking my head at him and he's like, oh no. He's like, oh, he knows he has a feeling he knows what's going on. And he comes over, he's like, do you want me to go get your, do you want me to go get your food out of the car? Do you want to eat it, while you're waiting? And I was like, no, because it's flaky and it's going to be a mess. And I didn't want to be that person, that patient. You know what I'm saying? I'm very considerate, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to say prideful, but I'm like, I don't want to be that person, that one patient that seems to be all, you know what I mean? So I thought, I got to get myself together here. Finally, when I'm talking to the girl, takes my name. She does double checks everything to kind of see where I am on the list, like in my next or what's going on. She comes back and she's like, oh, they're looking for you. And I'm like, what? And so the guy, he comes out and he was like one of this other nurse tech. He comes over, he was like, yeah, I'm looking for you. And I was like, okay, cool. Finally, let's go see the doctor, whatever. Follows him back. No, I have to do another test. And meanwhile, he makes comments about, I go, it's so hot in here or whatever it is. And he makes comments about, really? It's literally really cold in here. And I'm not saying he was gaslighting me, but it just felt like I cannot be crazy. My husband's like, no, it's cold. It's not cold at all. It's warm in here to me too. And I'm like, okay. So he made me feel a little bit at ease, And it's rare for my husband because him and I would usually kind of butt heads when it comes to my medical stuff. Because, it's just our love language, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, though. After I finished that, after they checked my eyes again, and then he was like, okay, well, you can follow me and go in a room. And I told my husband, said, you're coming with me because I need somebody to kind of keep me grounded here. And I wasn't even in the room, not even like 60 seconds before the doctor walks in. And my husband, as soon as I get seated in the chair, which again is a very, very tiny chair, and he grabs he found a clipboard on a counter that nobody was using, was just sitting there. It was just a blank clipboard that was in the room. He grabs it. He's like, just use that to. So I'm like, fanning myself over here. And she walks in. She's like, are you okay? Oh my gosh, are you fine? What's going on? And I was like, I said, I'm just kind of hungry a little bit, and I'm just not feeling the greatest right now, and I just kind of want to kind of get this over with, you know. And she's like, oh, no problem. She's like, well, let me look, double check. Let me look at your scans, and then let me look at your eyes again one more time. And if you have any questions, go and ask me now. And if you need any refills or anything like that, or how's their medicine happening, we'll go through that route. Everything seemed good at that point. She talked to me. Everything's good. I'm still kind of feeling ill, but I'm starting to go down a little bit. So it's like I get, maybe I hit my peak. Maybe the anxiety kind of hit a peak and now it's going back down. I'm going back to normal. I don't know. Maybe because my brain knows it's almost over. And so we can calm down now. It's almost over. You know, there's nothing else left to do after this. After you sell to the doctor, there's nothing else to do but go get a follow-up appointment and say goodbye. Have a great day, you know? And I talked to her. She was the most, I love this doctor. She's so sweet. She's caring. She understands. She gets it. She's like, well, we're going to get you on your way. Let's go ahead and do this. She understood the assignment and she did it. And that I appreciated. And I told her, thank you so much. And I have to apologize for how I was acting. I told the other staff members I talked to, and they were like, oh, no, you're good. You're not the only one. We've had people come in here and been all, you know, had all sorts of, you know, problems, you know, stuff they were dealing with. And we try to accommodate the best we can to make you feel comfortable. And I appreciated that one. So I ended up making my appointment, go back in about 6 months or so. Everything's good. But note to self, as soon as I got home, it took me a couple hours to like de-stress. You know, I literally had to come home. I literally was that person. I pulled off my pants and I'm just wearing a t-shirt, pull the bra off, and I'm just like, turn all the fans on, even the AC, make it cold, grabbed even an ice pack. I'm sitting here eating whatever I can find to make sure I get food in me. I am drinking my water, drinking my salt water. I am literally, took a Tylenol because now at this point I got a headache, and I am self-regulating in the dark in my bed and just kind of leave me alone kind of aspect and just trying to calm myself down. And I was fine after a little while. Everything was good. So I don't know what happened. So all I do know is that words of the wise. So from this point forward, anytime I have a doctor's appointment, 1, make sure you eat something before you go or eat it on the way. 2, drink your water. You know, bring anything you can that may help you. AKA maybe a personal little fan to hold in case, because you know it's going to be warm in that office if you've been in it before. If it was warm before, it's going to be warm later. So bring a fan. 3, pop a diazepam if you can beforehand. I mean, this is for me, not for you guys. Disclaimer, I'm not telling you to take anything that's not meant for you. Ask your doctor about that, not me. But for me, this is what I had to deal with. But after that, I was okay. The rest of the day, I was just kind of out of it, exhausted. So exhausted that I actually slept. I went to bed early last night and I slept all night long and got up at 5 this morning. Sort of awake, but not really. Just kind of managed. And now I'm still kind of but I just popped the diazepam, so now it's starting to kick in and I'm okay now. But yeah. Anyway, so that was my interesting story of, was it POTS? Was it an anxiety attack? Was it blood sugar? Was it all 3? I don't know. And I don't care to know at this point because I don't want to repeat it, so I'm not doing that again. But I do know is that this Friday I have got a allergy test to do, and I'm kind of nervous about that one too because it's going to be a little bit longer test, and there's only little I can take. I found out I can take a diazepam before I go, so they were fine with that, and I can take my normal medications. I can eat, I can drink, I can do all those things. I just got to stay away from anything that has histamines in it, and yeah. And anything that has, like, obviously any other substance like that in it. But I can do everything normal. No preparation. Just got to dress comfortably and show up. So hopefully that will be better. That office is not too warm. There's certain parts of the, place is kind of warm. But hopefully it won't be that bad. So, I will probably post a video and let you guys know how that visit goes. And in the meantime, after that, next following week, I have my first Botox treatment. And you best believe it, I will post about that one too. Anyway, so thanks for listening to my story about my whole situation and what happened at the eye doctors. I was just feeling like I was like gonna die. I thought, here I am. It's going down. I'm going down right here in the middle of the eye doctor's place. Right at what, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, randomly on a Tuesday. But I survived. We all survive. Every time you have a panic attack, you will survive. No one ever really dies of a panic attack. I mean, don't call me on that one though, because I haven't done my research, but little that I've heard of, it's very rare. If you can die if you have a panic attack and it caused you to do something else that made you die, yes. But this panic attack itself, it's not a killer, so. But anyways, let's all breathe, and thankfully we got through it, and I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoy my little videos about what's going on with me and my health. I have many other stories to tell you about, many other things to talk to you about if you're interested, and you're not alone. If you do suffer panic attacks, anxiety attacks, don't give up on yourself. I know there's a lot of medicines out there. Sometimes it don't work. Sometimes medicine will never fix it. You're just going to have to learn how to find other ways of coping, aka meditation, breathing. Sometimes exercise helps, getting the adrenaline out of you to exhaust yourself so you don't, because a lot of panic attacks, it's adrenaline. It builds up. A lot of it is histamine in your body. It's building up and it's got to go somewhere. It doesn't know where to go. And so when you're sitting there, you're more aware of it. You're self-aware of what's happening and you've got to do something. So typically that's why most people end up with shakiness. They look like they're jittery. They breathe heavy because their heart's racing, because they got to do something. Their body is making them do something. So typically most people go for a walk or do 10 jumping jacks in place if you can. Calf raises. I notice that sometimes helps me. Sometimes swaying back and forth. Sometimes doing a couple of squats here and there. Moving my arms around. Sometimes yawning helps a lot. If you just force yourself to yawn a lot, it will help reset that breathing pattern. And drinking cold to neutral water. You don't want to drink too ice water because that can shock the system. But typically it helps. Yeah. I mean, there's different ways of coping. You can just Google it. There's a lot of ways and healthier ways you can manage besides popping pills, so, or anything illegal. I do not recommend. But yeah, those are things that kind of help for me. I just hope that maybe one day we'll always have answers and maybe we'll have a simple response system that will help us cope. But until then, we just got to take care of ourselves and help recognize if somebody else in our line of sight is going through it. You know the signs, you see them going through it. Be a friend, even if you're a total stranger. Be a friend and help them through. If that means just telling other people to mind their business, let them, give them space, let them breathe, let them know that, hey, they're okay, they're safe, nothing's going to happen, they're fine. Get them some water, a cold towel, something. But anyway, so be kind to yourselves. Give yourselves grace. Be kind to others. Respect others when they're going through this. If you see them going through it, and that they can't always just breathe through it. It's just going to happen. But anyways, thanks for watching. Look forward to the next one, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.